The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talking a whole lot more. Tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 off your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are proud members of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great articles and other podcasts such as Rising the Occasion, the Sports Stove podcast, and my favorite, the guys over there at Craft Brewed Sports over there on every Tuesday night. Check your local listings, what time they're on, 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Always good time over there with Scott, Mike, and Mookie and the guys. And thank you very much for everybody who listens to our show and on a daily basis or watches it on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our show and make sure you catch up on all our old shows as well. It really helps out the show. Dave, I was down in the great state of Montana over the weekend, down in Helena, Montana, the capital of Montana. It was always a good time. Had a lot of laughs, everything else. But she's a different part of the world down there.
Oh, it's always different when you go down to Montana. It's just, it's a lot the same, but there's definitely some differences you always figure out once you get out of the car and start mixing with the locals. Yeah,
it was funny because we got there on Friday night, and it was nice. It was, I don't know what they like 32, like it was just zero kind of deal. And there was a massive outdoor hot tub at the hotel we were staying at, the like La Quinta Inns and Suites, and people were having a good time. And then I was like, holy smokes, it was just packed in that hot tub. And then the next morning when I went down for breakfast at about 8:39 in the morning down at the for the continental breakfast, whatever it was, you could see the people were having a good time the night before. They were not having that same good time at breakfast time. They were a little worse for wear. It's funny to see the before and after shots, especially of people that you don't know. Like when you see them having a good time, and yeah, whatever, and then you see the next morning like just scratching their eyeballs out. It was kind of funny to see.
I'm not a hot tub person, and if I walk by a hot tub that everybody's having fun and splashing around, it's like there is nothing I want to do with that fucking party, because everybody's gonna wake up with fucking swimmer's itch or a skin infection the next morning, or pink eye.
Pink eye was running fucking wild in the Helena, Montana, overlooking the capital of the great state of Montana. It was
because if there's 10 people in that hot tub, I guarantee you 2 people pissed in there.
8.
The girls, I don't know.
I can't I won't lie to you. I can't remember the last time I didn't piss in a hot tub.
And that's why I don't go in hot tubs.
Like,
fuck.
Whatever. The chlorine kills whatever, man. Like, it's good.
Stop it.
No?
Oh, man. Like, you're one of the reasons I don't go in hot tubs. It's just a fucking...
Like, I'm not a big hot tub guy. We kind of volleyed the...
Well, because you're pissing in them all. And that guy's not coming in my hot tub no more.
I would guarantee everybody with a hot tub piss their own hot tub. Guaranteed.
I know people with hot tubs. I'm going to ask that.
They piss in.
Like, when we have guests going forward, we're gonna ask them what percentage. Do women piss in hot tubs as much as men do?
48%.
But 100% of men do.
100%.
98%. I don't piss in hot tubs.
You have.
I don't go. Well, I have in my life, but not in the last 30 years. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things.
Well, because I figured it out. Like, fuck, guys are like, I can't be the only one pissing in here. Like, we've been partying in here for 4 hours and no one's gotten out to take a piss.
Exactly. It's not a surprise.
Yeah. Everybody can go out to grab another round of drinks. I'm getting up. Anyone need a round
right,
of drinks?
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. No, I'll just stay here and piss.
Yeah, it's not like you're taking a 10-100 in the tub or anything. Like, you're fucking whatever, man. It's fine.
No, it's not fine. It's gross. It's disgusting.
Well, I mean, it's not the ideal situation, but whatever.
But if you're partying, like, you know, it's a bit of a
chemicals are for.
Right?
Like, that's actually what the chemicals are for.
Well, not really, but
partially. Like, it doesn't say on the label for fucking getting rid of piss, like, or urine or whatever.
Yeah, you know, and you know,
how did this get to this point already?
Well, because you were bragging about.
We're 5 minutes and 9 seconds in talking about peeing in hot tubs for frickin' 3 minutes. Great, perfect, nice.
Don't pee in hot tub.
Okay, I haven't been in one for a while, but I will make a concerted effort to not the next time I'm in.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Not that I'm going to get in it, but you know. Don't pee in hot tubs.
Every time we have someone on the show from now on, we're going to ask, do you pee in the hot tub? And they will say, yes, I do.
And no woman, like it's kind of like a shit your pants thing. No woman will admit to it.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Every man, we admit, touch cloth or whatever. It's one of those things. Yeah, once
like little shirts,
and whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But anyways. Dave, three big names today had a bit of an awakening time. Like, one, we kind of knew that was going to happen. Two, we didn't know what was going to happen. He's kind of had a rough last few years, and I don't really care for the guy. And three, you don't care for the guy. He's got basically told by the Denver Broncos, thanks, bye, see ya. We don't need your services around here anymore. I'm talking Josh Donaldson, who announced his retirement today after, I think it was 16 years in the big leagues. MVP year with the Toronto Blue Jays. Then you move on to Jason Kelce. Everybody kind of knew he was calling her a career after the playoffs this year. The way he was partying the Super Bowl, he may not be able to recover from the two times he's been around his brother having a good time. And then the third, Russell Wilson got told by the Denver Broncos, you will not be playing on our team this year. He's going to get released. They still owe him $85 million. He might end up in the league somewhere. He's talented enough. That's a chunk of change. What's he gonna want to get paid? Even though the Broncos owe him a chunk of money. The thing about these three careers, Dave, they're all really good careers. Hall of Fame, that's to be debatable, but all really good careers. And all three guys, Kelce knew he was done. Donaldson probably didn't, but no one had any interest in him. And Wilson, he's got to be like, man, like I still think I got something here, and he might end up like it's funny how three really not Hall of Fame careers, but really good careers kind of came to an end in separate ways today.
Yeah, it is interesting, and in like you say, like Jason Kelce being the only one who walked away on his own terms. I don't know what the lineup is for centers getting to the Hall of Fame. Kelce, he had a long career. He's older than Travis. So I'm just guessing a 14 or 15-year career. Really likable guy and very popular, with the podcast. And then now because of the fame of his brother, that always does help a person's chances to get to the Hall of Fame. I don't know how good he was or wasn't. But he's by far and away the more likable of the two Kelce brothers. Seems to have a really good of the three as well. It's kind of funny. The one that's walking away on his own accord is the one clearly to me with the best head on his shoulders between these three guys.
Yeah, you just wonder, like, when these players the rumblings are around the league when it comes to guys like this and all this thing. Like, when you come to the end of the career, very rarely do guys play for the league minimum. Like, very rarely. Like Corey Perry is in for Oilers now with Chicago Blackhawks. We don't want to get that whole ordeal again, but very rarely do these guys go out on the league minimum and saying like they want to go out on a high note. And for Donaldson, he was getting paid. I think he was still getting paid for another year by somebody, wherever he ended up going to at the end of his career.
The Yankees.
Last year. No, the Yankees got rid of him. He was in somewhere else, was like Minnesota or I can't remember. But it's crazy, like to think of Donaldson was only a couple of years ago. The stupid Yankees signed him or acquired him for a good chunk of change, and he was making like $28 million, and then all of a sudden it's just done 2 years later. Like, I know that's how time works; it's just over eventually. But like how these GMs get it so wrong year after year, we're giving these guys big dollars at the end of their careers and go, well, we just hope for something. And then the players are the players, actually, that's a good question. Are the players at a point in their career, like, I'm good financially? Do they just shoot for the moon and say, yeah, I'll play for $25 million?
No, I think it's just what we always say when these contracts get handed out, especially when they're between the ages of 30, 33. Like when you're 30 and you're signing someone to an 8-year deal, you're not paying, like, the last 3 years of the deal, we are going to be severely overpaying this guy.
Yeah.
Because it just, Father Time is undefeated. You are going to be a diminishing asset. And when it goes quick, especially for players like Donaldson, who, speed, agility, and power were things that is a young man game. And once you start losing it, you start losing it. And you just cannot replicate or keep in tune your fast twitch muscles and your recovery period too. Donaldson was hurt all the time as well. It just hurts more and it's harder when you're older. Trust me, everything is. Like, and I don't even play professional sports. I got things to do.
Getting out of bed's harder.
Yeah, it takes me a bit.
Like waking up. Just the process of waking up is harder.
I'll tell you this. Like, so I walk my dog in the morning and I walk my dog in the evening, and sometimes it's with my wife and kids. But when it's on the weekend and I'm doing it with family, Jasper and Kaylee are way quicker than me in the morning. And it's like, come on, like, this isn't our pace. And it's like, it takes me a bit. Like my evening pace is quite quick, and I'm the fastest walker.
Yeah.
But when it's the first fucking 200 meters of walking in the morning, you got to get those fucking joints lubricated a little bit, and it's just simply it. Like, and it was actually enlightening to Kaylee. Like, really? Like, you can't walk that fast? I go, no. Like, I can't walk afternoon fast because, like, it just takes the joints a little to lube up. And I can only imagine what it's like as a professional athlete at the age of like 36 to 40.
Like, my thing with Donaldson, like back in 2015 when the Jays were all the rage and all, you know what, Dave? 2015 all of a sudden is a long time ago. So really, we shouldn't be surprised that his career's over. And that's what people don't understand is like every athlete's career, it has a shelf life, and it's quick and it's over. Like you get the odd guy, like obviously Sidney Crosby, who's just an epiphany. He's having an unbelievable season against Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh's struggling. I still think they're going to move Crosby at the deadline, but we'll still talk about that later on.
Well, he still has 1 full year, but we will talk about
that probably on Thursday. I think the trade deadline's on Friday, so we can talk about it then. But it's crazy. Like these careers end. Like they start and then they finish and it's over. And it's that quick. Like 2015 when that Jays team was rolling, almost they probably could have, should have, maybe won a World Series with Anthopoulos grabbed those guys. But that team is a long time ago. Like he had a 13-year career and it's just over. Like it's and that's it. You're done. And there shouldn't be a surprise that his career is over. But you're like 3 years ago this guy was good. And then now he's not.
You think about the myopic fan base that the Toronto Blue Jays had at that time, right? Because they were mad at the organization. I think they let Anthopoulos go first, and then the new management team came in, and they didn't sign David Price. They didn't sign Bautista. They didn't sign Donaldson. Where are those three guys right now?
Done.
If they would have done what the fan base wanted to do, they would be paying them millions of dollars to sit on the bench with other teams. It's tough decisions that have to be made, and it's up to the player sooner or later. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's sometimes up to the game. And what are you willing to do? Like I would imagine Donaldson would gladly play for someone for league minimum next year. But you're a douchebag and you're not good, and those two things don't really sell well on a resume.
Well, and what do you bring into a team?
Exactly.
If you have a career like he's had, which is a really good career, he made a lot of money. At what point do you say, do you save a little face and go, maybe I should kind of quit while I'm ahead. I can go and play in Pittsburgh for $1 million a year, but Jesus, like it kind of a bad look. Like you want to keep playing forever, but you know what? Like sitting around a clubhouse, like what are you bringing to a team like Pittsburgh who's not going to do fuck all? You're not teaching anybody. You're not striving for a championship. You're not doing anything. Like you probably could have played somewhere or got a minor league tryout somewhere. You would think, but like eventually, like maybe I should quit while I'm ahead and not have that embarrassing kind of a. Not embarrassing, but that stigma, yeah, it'd be embarrassing a little bit. It'd be a kick in the pills to say other than embarrassing. It'd be a kick in the pills to go down to minor league camp when you're 36, 37 years old, whatever he is, and some 21-year-old kid's just doing the exact same thing you are, and you want to play for $8 million because that's what you think your day-to-day value is worth, and some other kid's trying to play for $750,000. I mean, and you know what? You got to commend. Maybe that's the thing. You know what? Let somebody else give it a shot. I'm done. Let's let a kid into the league and see what they can do.
Yeah, but there's the chasing the ring thing, and then there's also a player like Donaldson. So if memory serves, he started his career with Oakland, and that's where the Jays got him from. And then that's when he had his clearly his best 3 years of his career. And then after the Jays, he bounced around. Teams are clearly happy to see him walk away. No one he's not when I see a career trajectory like that, it says to me that this guy isn't a great locker room guy. I'm going to compare him to Albert Pujols, who had the beginning of a Hall of Fame career with St. Louis. St. Louis said, we're not willing to pay you that much, and Anaheim did. And then he went on and had some super good years with Anaheim. And then he came back to finish it off and do the rocking chair run with St. Louis. And everybody gets to feel good about it at the end. Who's going to feel good about trotting the president of the Josh Donaldson fan club around for 162 games? Nobody. And the reasons are the clubs, not mine. But if he was a good guy, I'm going to say a name like Russell Martin when he came from the Dodgers.
Martin, when he went to Jays and everywhere else he went afterwards, he was a great locker room guy. He's a great player.
Loved him.
Yeah. And no one's ever besmirched, to my knowledge. I shouldn't say no one. I'm sure somebody was pissed off at Russell Martin for whatever reason. But Martin was a solid player no matter where he went. Because I remember when he was a Yankee for that short period of time. He was great there. And then he went to Dodgers. And he was a Blue Jay, and that on and on it goes. Martin was a great. He was Pittsburgh Pirates as well. Martin's a definite. Canadian baseball Hall of Fame, obviously. Yeah. Clubhouse guy, solid individual. And just a guy you want on your team for your younger guys. Yeah, it's crazy to think that. It's you get back to the other two guys. We've been hammering on Donaldson, the president Josh Donaldson fan club. Actually, you got that one off before I did tonight. Usually I'm the first one to get that one off. But the other guy that we'll touch back on Kelce here. It's too bad to say that, because of his position as a center, he's not a sexy position. You and I aren't the nuts and bolts of a football team, those kind of guys. There are people who obviously they love Jason Kelce and the Philadelphia Eagles and blah blah blah, and they know more about that. But it's too bad that his career is kind of going to be remembered a little bit by the average football fan as Travis Kelce's brother, right? He had a great career. He got himself a Super Bowl. He might be a Hall of Fame, like you said. Who knows what the lineup is to get in the Hall of Fame? I personally don't. But it's kind of too bad that a guy who seems like a really solid guy, likes to have a good time, was a great football player, he's kind of going to be remembered a little bit as Travis Kelce's brother. Because Kelce, even before the Swiftie thing, Kelce's been the more vocal guy, the more media friendly guy, the more clickbait guy, I guess. Maybe not media friendly, but more of a clickbait guy. And so it's too bad that it kind of got to that point, but it didn't. It's not going to hurt Jason Kelce's post career advertising endorsement stuff.
No, and long before his brother started dating that pop star, they had their podcast, and I don't listen to it myself, but the podcast I do listen to, they talk about it and they say it's great, and he's so personal and so likable, and it's clearly that he's loved by his Philadelphia teammates. And when you see a player like that who's had a long career, he has his ring. You're never going to get an MVP playing as a center, but that's a very it's almost like the catcher in baseball, right? You got to read defenses, you got to figure shit out, you got to be a smart player as well. It's not all about physicality. And Kelce is loved and cherished by his teammates and the fan base, and that goes a long way for me when I look at athletes where I really don't have an inside look at their career and how good they may or may not be, but just the way the fan base is going to miss them. I think it says a lot about a person when their playing career is done, what the fan reactions are, because I don't see a lot of tributes like hashtag Josh Donaldson fan club going out.
No, there isn't. Like Josh Donaldson trending is probably a lot of negative things right now. If he is trending on Twitter, good, fuck him, good, whatever, fuck off, see you later. Which is too bad. I mean, the guy. I mean, you put it on yourself a lot, but
it's not too bad, right? It's the way you conduct yourself in the day to day, and I like look at all you Yankee fans. Like you guys are livid that he was. You're happy that he was on the IR. Like
when they signed him, I was like, that's a fucking huge mistake. Or when they traded for him, I said, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, how? And it's not just Donaldson, it's not just the Yankee thing. How can, if the entire fan base is saying, this is stupid, and no matter what sport, if the entire fan base is saying, what the fuck are you doing? How does it still happen? Like you said it with some of your Bronco guys and everything. Like you go, what?
This does not. I do not get it. I do not get it. I say that all the time. Sometimes I'm wrong. It seems like, and maybe it's just recency bias, it seems like I'm right more often than I'm not. But like, how does this make fucking sense? I don't get it. I do not get it.
Well, let's get into it, Dave. Let's get into the I don't get it thing. I get now why Russell Wilson's gone. I'm sure you're a happy guy today. Like it was kind of the writing was been on the wall for a while, but the Russell Wilson era is over. Like it's officially over in Denver. Another career, who knows where that's going to go. And it was a signing and a trade and everything else. Everybody thought it was going to be a great one. I did personally. We've talked about it a lot over the years, and it's got gradually worse and worse as the 2 seasons he played for Denver. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And then Sean Payton and him were cracking heads all season long. And the Nathaniel Hackett thing, we beaten that one to death. But this was a situation everybody knew it was coming to an end. Russell Wilson probably knew it was coming to an end. His time in Denver, he was probably told about it a long, long time ago. It wasn't news to him. It wasn't clickbait for him today when it came across the wire. Just didn't work. It just didn't work.
Didn't work. And whatever. Denver, the front office took a big swing. I remember talking about it on the podcast. Like I was excited when it happened. I thought he was someone that had a chance to bring Denver back to respectability. But like watching him play, I will give a bit of blame to Nathaniel Hackett not having a fucking clue how to be a head coach of an NFL football team. But then like this year too, like fucking get bent. The thing that pisses me off the most is that Denver's on the hook for so much dead salary cap. But what do? Cut bait. Like you're gonna pay the fucker anyways. Like you always say, we're paying you to lose. We might as well.
We lost with you, lose without you.
Yeah, exactly. Not here because we're not getting any further ahead. And you had the chance last year, and I don't care what anyone says. I get it. Sean Payton is a prick, and I get it that they didn't see
Payton came in with not the sole purpose, but just hear me out. Peyton came in with the sole purpose to get rid of fucking Russell Wilson.
I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. It was to get Russell Wilson and to get him to do the things that he had to do to make the offense work, and they did. For once he got on the same page, the Denver started winning games. They started winning games. They beat fucking KC this year, and then I get it that Denver wasn't the only team to beat KC, but they beat KC. They beat some good teams this year. And then Russell Wilson I think Russell Wilson loves what he sees in the mirror too much. Like, with his soul glow and his rock star girlfriend or whatever the fuck is going on there behind the scenes. I think he was a little butthurt, and that's what took him 4 or 5 weeks to figure out what was going on this season when he got his dance club taken away from him in the second story building and all that kind of thing. And once he started getting treated like a regular, he figured it out, but then he thought, this is obviously my own opinion, he figured it out for a couple of weeks, and he started thinking, like, maybe I am the difference maker again. And goddamn, I haven't seen a quarterback who I expected to be smart miss so many reads than that guy. Like I just can't understand his play by watching him play. I can't understand it. And then that's it. And then so hit the fucking bricks.
I thought he was really good in Seattle, and obviously Super Bowl, and should have won 2 if he would have just handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch. They would have had 2. And then that puts him in a Hall of Fame discussion. Now all of a sudden, Russell Wilson's just another guy. He's just another guy who played football.
Totally another guy.
Another quarterback. He's another guy who, maybe he overachieved. And maybe the GMs were wrong. That made in Denver, who made that trade. Maybe all the scouts and the offensive coordinators. Yeah, we got to go and get this guy. Maybe they were just wrong. And that happens. I mean, it happens in every sport all the time. But to swing and miss like that, and and not so much the player, because if someone offers you fucking $50 million, you're taking it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But for once again, for the management team, whoever makes the decisions to give him that much money, for them to make that decision, this is on the management team of the Denver Broncos, where they just fucking blew their load over a guy who maybe just wasn't that good.
Yeah, and I hear it. I'll put it in the parlance of playing poker, right? You're trying to bluff a guy, and then all of a sudden you go all in. I'm in. Oh fuck, that guy called me way too quick. I'm fucked. And as soon as Denver sent that offer sheet to Seattle, they were like, "Yep." 2 seconds later.
Well, you could compare it to the Kachuk and what's his name trade to Calgary. What the fuck's that guy? Huberdeau. You can compare it to that.
Yep.
Right?
We'll do it. Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. The other side agreed. The other side agreed to get rid of a 100-point guy.
135-point guy.
135-point guys. Yeah, good. 100%. He's yours. And then look what I'm watching the Flames game right now. I haven't seen him on the ice yet. So it's one of those so maybe there's a very good comparison right there to that trade. But yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
When someone is happy to let him go, you have to ask
now
why.
We don't have to pay this guy. Because this is what his market value stats, his analytics say. It says this is what he's going to make. No matter what, someone's going to pay him this. But it ain't going to be me. Thank you.
Because we're here every day. We see this is an anomaly season. Everything fell right, and there's no way he's going to be like this player for the next 6 to 7 years. Never mind what he may or may not be like in the locker room. And I don't know that about Huberdeau, because from what I have read about him, he is a really good guy and the players like him. But you don't pay guys. That's what Jamie McClellan's there for, to pay league minimum and be a good locker room guy. That's what Paul Bissonnette is, to be a good locker room guy.
Yeah.
You're not giving $10 million a year to locker room guys. You're giving $10 million a year to guys that are going to earn your team victories on the ice.
You ain't giving a fucking NFL quarterback $40 million a year to be a good guy.
No.
The
only thing I can hope for is that Jerry Jones is going to, quote unquote, reset the market with Dak Prescott next year. Because if I want him to pay Dak's $40 million a year so bad, I want that to happen.
Doesn't really have a choice. Like that, and that's the thing.
Let him walk. Let him fucking walk. Take Russell Wilson and let Dak walk.
That's the thing. Like the quarterback market, it is so out of control. That's just what they cost to have a fucking mediocre quarterback.
But not like so. So next year, Pat Mahomes is going to be the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league, behind Burrow, behind Herbert, behind Josh Allen, behind Dak Prescott. Fuck that. They got to figure it out, those owners, because Dak Prescott. Let him fucking walk.
What's fucked up about
who's better, Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins?
They're both the same guy.
They're the same guy. They're the same fucking guy.
I was reading today. I was scrolling through something. I can't remember what it was, and I saw that Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay are at a fucking cross-off or a standoff. Like, what better is Tampa Bay gonna do? Like, and you're a huge fucking like, I'm surprised you don't have a Baker Mayfield fucking jersey.
I do like Baker Mayfield.
You're a huge Mayfield guy, but yeah. So why is Tampa holding off on him?
Well, but then, maybe Baker's gonna have the 1-star on his helmet next year. You can get Baker wearing a 1-star for $25 million a year. Why would you pay Dak 40 when you could pay Baker 25?
You'll have to get maybe we'll see if we can hook up Jim, the fan of the Van Plotner, on here and see what he's thinking about the quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. Would he rather have a guy like Baker Mayfield? Would he rather have Russell Wilson? Would he rather have a Dak Prescott? Or are they going to go back there for one more year with what's his name?
Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just
what do you want to have? Like Jim, who do you want to have? Like, actually, we'll put this up there. Jim, who would you rather have? Pickett, Wilson, Prescott, or Baker? Because they're out there.
They are out there. Yeah. I would take Baker as a Bronco for $25 million a year. He ain't gonna sign for $25 million though.
No, he's gonna get more than that.
Yeah.
He had a really good year last year.
Can't pay him more than 30. But that's and that's the cruel fate of it, right? Is that's what it costs for, unless you have a rookie. That's what it costs for a competent quarterback these days. Geno Smith re-signed with Seattle. Yeah, and I don't know the numbers on this, but I think they gave him a 2-year deal. But, when you sign Geno Smith, that's just saying, we don't have anyone better right now.
Or there's nobody better coming through.
Yeah. Right? Or we don't have the draft pick. Or maybe they will take a draft pick and take a flyer and hopefully find a Purdy.
I will never, after the top, we talk about this fucking here and there. I would never, after the top fucking 4 or 5 guys, it's such a fucking crapshoot. I wouldn't put, in any sport, I wouldn't put anything on just another fucking kid. Nothing.
Well, you have to, right? Because you don't win Super Bowls without a good quarterback. Not in the last 20 years, right? So,
how many quarterbacks have won Super Bowls last 20 years? 5.
Well, that's my point, right? You find your one, and then you're there. Like now, you have a chance every year, and and then I realized
it's a national quarterback league, not even a football league anymore.
But Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson have shown they can do it. No, they haven't shown they can do it.
They haven't shown fuck all.
No, but they have. They've won their conference championship. They gotten the number 1 seed. They've gone 2 Super Bowls, but they haven't won it because there's been the big boys on the block, and they only won in the last 5 years. Well, shit, in the last 20 years, who are the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks? Tom Brady, Peyton Manning,
Big Ben.
I that's getting a long time too. But Big Ben and Matt Stafford. Right? That's it. That's fucking it. So
because when Flacco got his, that was in 2002. So that's 22 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or 2001.
Well, no, 2013 or 14, because that was the day I punched the wall. When they beat Peyton Manning. I've talked about that. I did punch a wall. But nonetheless, I've
ever punched a wall over a sporting event that I was not participating in. The one that I participated in, I have punched a wall. I have spazzed in an event that I was playing in. I went turbo a time or two when I was in my playing days.
It wasn't turbo.
It was spaz because we used to do spaz and turbo, right? Spaz or turbo. We got to bring that one back. Maybe we'll bring that one back on Thursday. Spaz or turbo.
We'll try and figure one out. Yeah. But I went spaz. I totally went spaz. And like I said, I wanted, like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I wanted John Fox fired before the teams took the field for overtime. Fuck, was I mad at him? What a piece of shit fucking head coach. Fuck. Plays for ties with the highest scoring offense of all fucking time. We went and fucking played for a tie and put your chances on a goddamn coin flip after you didn't fucking say, don't let anyone get behind you. That's it.
Of the 3 guys, they will wrap this up for this segment anyways, but of the 3 guys we just discussed, Kelce, Super Bowl, Wilson, Super Bowl, Josh Donaldson, MVP. Which career would you rather had of the 3 guys?
Kelce won a Super Bowl, so I'll give it to him. I'll give him, and he's a very likable guy. Like I haven't heard ever anybody say anything bad about Kelce. Russell Wilson, Josh Donaldson can fuck right off. He's all about himself. That's all he cares about. He carries his own rookie card in his. He was good for a year, and there is an argument to be made that he actually robbed that MVP from Mike Trout. Mike Trout did have a better year, but the Jays had a sexier season, and he was a contributing member of it. Russ Wilson, Super Bowl MVP as a rookie, Pro Bowler quite a few times, actually, like a very solid career with Seattle. But you listen to Seattle teammates talk about him. He was a terrible fucking teammate. No one had his number. If you wanted to get a hold of him, you had to call his person. He never gave his digits. Like, that's so fucking weird. And like you're a public persona. You're married to what's her name? Cialis. Cialis, like his wife has a fucking career.
Cialis?
I have no fucking clue. I won't say everybody. When I say everybody, it's what I read. Like like pop star. Like fuck. I don't have a fucking clue what she fucking sings.
I mean, we're 50 though, so yeah.
We are 50. Like, yeah. So him and Cialis.
But you might have. Well, actually, my wife's a fucking poppy fucking pop person too. So whatever. But like I was gonna say, you might have more of a fighting chance than I do. Jasper might listen to some tunes here and there. But
not in the house. It's all about the car, and then the car. Mom and Dad have a little bit more sway over the playlist.
A little more yank around the fucking the Subaru.
Wow, fuck! If Dad's driving, I got to be able to tolerate the music I'm playing.
No, it's crazy how like those three guys are household names. Their careers just kind of took a big turn today, and it's just another like it's just like Wilson. I think will play again. I don't think it's a lock that he starts somewhere next year because it's still.
Oh, for sure he will.
Well,
no, he will.
Okay, where and why? Where and why?
Maybe Pittsburgh.
Why?
Because they need help. They need help. Pickett ain't the answer. Maya Rudolph isn't the answer. Maya Rudolph is what he's been in that. They cut him and they brought him back in Pittsburgh.
Well, they cut him again just recently, didn't they?
Well, no, they cut Trubisky. But maybe Maya Rudolph has a fucking
same guy. Who cares? Mitch Trubisky.
Whatever. Trubisky and
Rudolph or whatever. Fuck. Same guy.
Maybe Atlanta, depending on what they do there. There's rumors of everything going on there. Depending what they do with Baker Mayfield in Tampa. If Baker signs someplace else, maybe he might go there.
So is there just a lack of quarterback? Because if it didn't work one place, why the fuck would it work somewhere else?
Because it has worked once, and that one time was in Seattle.
Or was it just the team?
Yeah, and maybe it was the team.
Maybe it was the coach. Maybe the silver fox himself, Pete Carroll, caught lightning in a bottle. Maybe it had nothing to do with Russell fucking Wilson.
So what you're saying is maybe Russell Wilson audibled into that pass as opposed to handing it off to...
You never fucking know. Who knows?
You don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But there's like maybe Minnesota. Who knows where Kirk Cousins goes next year?
Kirk Cousins plays for the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers, and Jim, the fan of the Van Plotner, pulls out what's left of his hair.
Hey? Act that fucking better get them for just like those cheap stogies, because you're going to be smoking a lot of them on Sundays this year.
Be down to half a lung by the time the season's over next year.
Because you can't blame Canada anymore.
Don't blame Canada. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. And give Jim, the fan of the van, his great show a listen over there. Him and Garrett did a Steel and Teal earlier on over the weekend, so make sure to give that one a listen to. Always entertaining. Listen to those guys. We'll have to have them on our show in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. Anyways.
Well, the dog days are coming, right? Well, they're here, right? We can't talk about NBA. Well, maybe hey, Garrett, watch a fucking NHL game or two, and we can talk about that.
That's actually a good idea. What did
We're
you
always
see?
Talking football. Yeah.
What did you see?
How did you like it? Yeah.
Fill me in.
Yeah. Who is your NHL team?
What's an offside? Actually, let's have him on. Let's have him on and do not National Hockey League trivia. National or hockey, and not to make fun.
No. What we should do is have a watching party. Let's do it during a game kind of thing.
We'll figure something out.
Let's find a game.
Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Beer Sports Talking a whole lot.
Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420pod, that's 1420pod, and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by Righteous Felon Jerky and RighteousFelon.com. Use promo code BELLYUP at checkout at RighteousFelon.com for the best in craft beef jerky in the land. Save 15% at RighteousFelon.com by using promo code BELLYUP at checkout. And Dave, I didn't order that one, so next time you're going down there, make sure you let us know when you're going down. I'll get it done there, and we'll make sure we get a load of
If we ever get these
jerky.
fucking baseball tryouts done, Josh, we're still trying out for baseball. He has another tryout next week. So it's been 4 weeks of fucking tryouts already.
You're not paying every weekend, are you?
No, it was like $50 to try out.
Something for the week, like it's one deal.
Yeah,
everything else.
whatever. Yeah, but no, like he had to go. Jasper had to go on. He had to go set because it was pitchers and catchers tryout, and he does both. So there was 3 sessions on Saturday, 3 sessions on Sunday. So he had a pitching session and a catching session on Saturday, and then he had a catching session on Sunday.
Do his coaches know that he is an employee of the Leopards Bulls?
I have not told them.
You should probably mention that. We'll make that work.
Well, it's not going to hurt. And maybe so he had ball tonight. That's why I was a little bit late picking him up. Maybe I should send him with a Bull shirt.
We'll get him a Bull shirt. He'll be the only one in the tryout with a Bull shirt on.
Right, because he went high end with the golf shirt when he was playing. When he was helping out there at the stadium the other day, he didn't think about something that he wanted to wear maybe when he was at the ball games, at the ball practices.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out with Jasper. He'll be. I'm sure he'll be fine. The kid, he loves baseball, and that's half the battle with. And honestly, I honestly think I watched him pitch. He's good. He loves it, and I think that's what these coaches. I didn't want to get into this thing, but it's kind of the way it kind of worked out. I think coaches really have to watch that. Is that if a kid is passionate about it, that is an extra added tick on the yes, no, maybe so's. That if a kid is passionate about baseball, he loves it, then he gets that little bit. Because you're going to get that little bit of the extra work ethic out of it. You might get that. If there's a Saturday morning practice, maybe that Johnny doesn't want to go to, that kind of stuff, I think should matter a lot. And if it's not the parents saying, you'll drive Jasper there, you aren't you'll take him there, but you're not taking him there.
Right. It's not get your shit. It's you be ready, and we have
Jasper dragging you into the car because he can't drive himself.
Well, yeah, it's my kid, and that's the discussion we have when he does have these ball sessions during the winter. It's all I say to him is, okay, ball's at 6:30. What time do you want to leave? I want to leave at 6:10. Okay, and at 6:05,
he's ready.
I just give him a holler and and it's tell me when I'm ready when you are, bud. And he, okay, let's go, and then we go. Yeah. It doesn't take. It's oh, your shit done, and then his shit's done. Right, so that's baseball is his carrot, which is a good thing. Yeah, and he's a pleaser. Well, not to his dad, but to his coaches, he is. He's picking up balls, he's dragging, he's picking up bases after the end of the games. He's one of those kids.
The girls around the office today were asking when the staff was coming back. I said probably next Friday. We'll figure that out. So we'll have to have a chat with Jasper during the week to see when he's going to come back. Dave, a couple of weeks back, we tried to get it on it last Thursday, but we were talking about the Kiprusoff retirement ceremony and everything else, and it was a great conversation. But I was watching something, I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, and David Duval's face came. It was a Tiger Woods through the ages thing, and David Duval's mug came across the screen, and I thought, whatever happened to that fucking guy? Because he was right, he was 1-2 in the rankings, the USGA and the PGA, and on it went with David Duval, and you're
and Tiger,
David Duval and Tiger, the head to head, the blah blah blah. Duval didn't turn out to be fuck all. His career was short and over and done, and then he didn't. I'm sure I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but all I remember about him was his sunglasses. Other than that, yeah. I don't recall anything else about David Duval. He did a whole bunch of not winning. I think he won a couple majors early on, with Tiger, right? I believe Duval won a British Open, and I believe he did this and that. And then it was going to be, this is golf's next greatest rivalry, Tiger Woods, David Duval. And I also recall Duval shooting a 59 to win a tournament, not a major, obviously. And it was holy fuck, these two, it's going to be fun to watch these forever.
two play golf for the next 10, 15 years. Maybe the next 10, 15 minutes. Because David Duval just fell off a fucking cliff. I don't know I don't know the pressure, and even he was significantly older. And I think of Marco Mira, right? He won back-to-back Masters there for a bit. And then he was fucking gone. I get it. He was a ton older than Tiger. But I think athletic careers, right? You catch fire for 3 to 4 years, and then you either decide to cash in, and then I don't know what makes you lose it. The fact that you can't focus on your sport anymore because now you're a superstar. Like Donaldson, like we talked about, he had 3-4 years of flying too close to the sun. Marco Mira, David Duval. And then all of a sudden they're gone. Rory McIlroy, McIlroy was supposed to be a Tiger type person. And he's always been really good, top 10 consistently, but he hasn't won a major enough fucking Hound's age either.
Like you look back at Tigers because obviously Tiger got between guys' ears a lot, and that's like Mickelson overtook Duval at that point, and Mickelson won himself a couple of Masters and everything else that was going on. And this isn't the segment's not just about golf, but the way that these megastars like Tiger and Jordan and Gretzky, the way they can get between the also-rans, and I'll say they're also-rans because obviously like those guys, like those 3 guys I just mentioned are next level guys. The way they can get and we'll put Lemieux in that, and we can go on and on it goes for the next level guys like Tom Brady as well. The way that they can find a way to get between the ears of the also-rans, it's unbelievable because these alpha males, and we could talk about some alpha females, but these alpha males who are the next level guys, it must drive the guys who are striving to get to that next point. It must drive them absolutely fucking nuts. Like, what do I got to do? And then you work so hard to not even beat for your team to win. You're just trying to beat that guy. And that's detrimental to your team sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we're looking at it right now with Josh Allen and the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't say the Bills and the Chiefs. Like I should say Josh Allen and the Chiefs, right? Because Allen, every time, like not every time, the last time they had that opportunity, which was in the playoffs this year, Josh Allen shit the bed. He just. You try so hard to be the guy that you want to beat that you end up making those mistakes that doesn't make you the guy. And I wrote a couple names down here. Like you mentioned Gretzky and Lemieux. Like who's number 3 on that list? Is it Jagger gets forgotten, right? So Messier has his place because he went and won that cup with the Rangers. But what does Jagger have? Does he have a cup without Lemieux? Like he's
no.
See the ultimate. He's the ultimate passenger, right? And then maybe in another era, he's the best player in NHL. But he had to deal with Gretzky and Lemieux, and then arguably Messier. Like I think Jagger was a far more talented offensive player than Messier, and I don't know if Jagger was a driver or a passenger, but.
I would rather, because I'm not a Messier guy for whatever reason. I'm just a dickhead, I guess. But I would way rather have a Messier than a Jagger, because Messier was like a driver, right? One of those drivers and passenger things you talked about a couple weeks back, like one of those guys. But Jagger, he was so good, but not even close to Lemieux.
Gretzky and Lemieux. Yeah.
Like not even close.
And so he was the top, like he's kind of like a Draisaitl, right? Top 5 player in the league, but the second best player on the team.
Like did Jagger win an MVP?
I do not know. Is the as the goal scoring. As the point champ. But I would not. I'd be surprised if he had an MVP. I'd really be surprised. Yeah, that's an. Jagger's like top 5 points all time.
I would think so. Like I don't exactly know, but yeah, he's got to be right there.
God, we got to look at shit like that. And and another name I have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. It doesn't. Yeah, go nuts.
Well, I'm going to switch sports here, and you and I don't know NBA at all. Someone who does have 2 MVPs, Steve Nash, with the Phoenix Suns. But he just had a fucking run into Duncan and the Spurs and Kobe and Shaq with the Lakers. That fucker was so good. All 6, he looks 6 feet, but I think he's 6'4".
I saw him in person actually in Phoenix. I went to a baseball game there, and he wasn't sitting too far from me. And he's tall, and I'm 6'2" and a little bit. I think I'm touted at 6'3" now. So like you look at the guy. I've actually grown for some reason, which is weird. But he's 6'4", 6'5". Like he's a bigger guy, but he just looks so small compared to those other guys. Steve Nash had a hell of a career, but he's also ran around like he's Canada's greatest basketball player probably, but he's also ran the big pitch because he didn't win fuck all.
Because out of the West, it was,
and that's the problem. And that's the problem with team sports, is that if you don't have a couple of pieces here and there, you're like, all right, I was really good, but my team stunk, or I was just good enough, but I wasn't good enough to get my team over the hump. And that's what makes these the mega stars that much better, is that they're that guy who gets their team over the hump. Like you have to have that guy at some point who catches lightning in a bottle, who just says, "Okay, we're doing this." The Jordans, yeah, I'll say it. Like Jordan probably carried some of those teams that might have not have been the most talented, but he goes, "Jump on my back, we're going somewhere." Right? And Kobe's the same way and everything else. Like,
yeah, I demand that you get on it. Like Jordan, like going to a hotel room in Vegas and saying to Rodman, like, your fun's done. Get your fucking ass back on the fucking bus. We got a fucking job to do. And then that's what Jordan did with the Bulls. And Shaq, Shaq wasn't a driver. Shaq is the ultimate passenger. Shaq is the ultimate passenger. He's God said to him, "I'm going to make you the biggest, most agile person on the fucking planet, and you can play basketball." Kobe drove that bus, and it was proven. Like Shaq has a great personality. Shaq has the body and ability to play basketball like no other man. But Shaq decided he wasn't going to work on it. He was just going to let his natural ability take rule the day. Whereas Kobe drove that fucking bus, and he demanded more from everybody.
You want to we'll talk about guys who just never got over the hump because of other guys that were just that much better. You look back at those, and we've talked about before on our show. I think the Winnipeg Jets back in the 80s and in the age before they moved out to Phoenix. Like Dale Hawerchuk and those fucking Jets teams, they were great.
Hawerchuk, Kachuk, Carlisle,
like actually great.
Timos, yeah.
And for a long time, but they had two teams. They had two teams in the division in front of them, the Calgary Flames and of course Gretzky's Oilers. They didn't stand a fucking chance. So is that Hawerchuk's fault that he just couldn't get that level because he's a Hall of Famer, or is it just because Gretzky and his band of merry men were that much better? Because even the Jets, they weren't even as good as those Flames teams and like the Flames had a lot of they had a few good players. They had a lot of plumbers, like over the like they just had those kind of guys. And Kent Harris, Mike Vernon was playing in net. So it's just like Hall of Famers are one thing, and we talk about the Hall of Fame. I love Hall of Fame debates, but Hall of Famers are one thing. But it's those next level guys who just fucking go. And they fuck with people's heads, and they just because it's got to drive those like a Hall of Fame guys nuts. That I can't like what's my legacy if I can't beat this team? I'm nothing. They must think that they have to.
And your that Winnipeg Jets comparison is so excellent because honestly, in the mid 80s, the mid to early 80s, Winnipeg may have been the 5th best team in the NHL. The only problem was they had to face 2 teams
in their division
that were 1 and 3, right? The Oilers and the Flames, and then you like pick the Bruins one year, pick the Flyers one year,
Islanders or whatever it was, yeah,
whatever it was. But like for a couple of years there, Winnipeg was literally a top 5 team in the NHL,
and weren't close.
But they weren't close because you had to snow through 2 of them.
Like
and one of them,
you could compare the '80s Jets to the Buffalo Bills, like the nowadays Buffalo Bills. Same thing. Like you could say Josh Allen and fucking Dale Hawerchuk are the same player.
Same, right? One year, like I think 1 or 2 years, they did beat the Flames, but then what?
Then they had to play Edmonton.
And then you had to go to Edmonton, and it was done. And
we're done.
And then we're fucking done because, we're tired from playing so hard to upset the Flames.
So we go 7 against these guys, and then we got to face these fucking guys.
5.
We're done.
They
only 5. The first round was 5 back then.
So I get it, but now we got to go against these fuckers.
It's the same thing as Buffalo's got.
Who just fucking swept the LA Kings, right, in their purple and golds.
Like what? Like if Mahomes, not Mahomes, if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, if they don't do anything in the next 3 to 4 years, and there's 3 of them, so they're not obviously like all 3 aren't. That's not how sports works. All 3 of them are not accomplishing. Unless one wins Super Bowl each time, all 3 of them are just Dale Hawerchuk, which is a great career. Don't get me wrong. Like Dale Hawerchuk is one of my sister's all-time favorites, but you're just your Hall of Fame plaque says you have this many wins, and that's it.
Well, I'd rather be a Dale Hawerchuk than a Mike Palmateer. Like there's no one ever. Like,
you know what I mean? Like
I do know what you mean.
That next level.
The next level, and that's not just talent. That's a luck of circumstance of where you are and what franchise you are with. So let's Ray Bourque is Dan Marino, but Dan Marino didn't ask for a trade to go be the new Steve Young in San Francisco, right? It's do you get a little bit of credit for allegiance to your team and not chasing a cup, or does Ray Bourque? You know what I'm saying? Like without Ray Bourque asking for a trade so I can find a cup, he doesn't win a cup. His career's the exact same. And like so, it's
Bourque and Marino are the same guy, but Bourque said, "I'm fucking. Can I go to Colorado?" Because they were guaranteed to win that year. Not guaranteed, but like there was an 87% chance they're winning that year.
If you were putting money on before game 1, that was 100 to win 110 kind of thing.
Do you consider Marino to be?
I think Marino's better than Steve Young. I don't think he is. I think Marino is better than Roger Staubach. I think Marino is better than Ben Roethlisberger. I think Marino is better is the same as Jim Kelly. Maybe better. No, he's better than Jim Kelly. I think Marino and Brett Favre are the same person.
Is Marino better than Ray Bourque?
No.
Not even close.
No, I don't think so.
Like, not even close.
There's a Ray Bork was an all-time great man without a top
you could almost say that Marino was a stats pattern.
You know what? You're right, because he was the best thing that they had, and he threw for a shit ton of yards because he had to. Right? Because he had to. That's the only way.
Because maybe he wanted to.
No, I think they had to. No,
what I'm getting at is, like, let's keep building this around me. Let's keep the I think the Marino brand might have hurt Marino's legacy as a winning quarterback. I think the Marino brand was more important to Dan Marino than winning football games.
But at the time, though, as well, the player didn't have as much say as they do now.
Dan Marino did, though.
We don't know, right? We honestly, I don't know.
I know people.
You know,
I don't know anybody.
Don Shula was a hard-nosed coach. He was an old school coach, and he won Super Bowls with other teams.
They just win enough games, right? Every year in, year out, the money comes in, the commercials and this and that and everything else. I mean, this is all conspiracy theory podcast bullshit, but it kind of, like, for them to be licking the jar for as long as they did, it kind of smells a little bit looking back in hindsight.
You know, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I never really.
Like, how are we this close every year and just don't get over the hump? We have a guy who throws for like a career is 50,000 yards, whatever it was. That might be a lofty number. Who knows? But like, it's looking back on Marino's career, it smells a little bit like it was the Miami Marinos.
That's not untrue, but like Mark Duper, I remember him, super duper. The NFC was dominant. Specifically, the NFC East was so dominant back in that day. You had the Joe Gibb Redskins. You had the Steve Walsh Niners, and then you even had Jimmy Johnson's fucking one stars coming through that division, and the Giants and Bill Parcells Giants. They were all so good. The NFC was so goddamn good for those little bits. And you know, and as an AFC guy, I'm happy to see that the AFC has dominated over the last 20 years, because I was so sick of watching NFC teams win the fucking Super Bowl. I fucking hate it.
You're old.
I am old.
No,
but
I know.
But since Brady came on the scene, Brady and Peyton, like, it's been AFC teams. Not every year, but most years. Because when I was a kid cheering for my Broncos and watching the Bills like eat it, it was always like the NFC East and the 49ers. Those are they just fucking, if they're in the game, they're gonna fucking win every time.
Take your personal opinion aside. Who is better, Dan Marino or Alex Ovechkin? Same guy.
Ovechkin. Because
and won a championship.
He has a ring. And he's when Marino retired, he had passing yards and whatever, like he was the leader. But as a legitimate threat, I hate Ovechkin. But I have to give him the nod.
And that's the thing. Looking back, fucking hindsight's always 20/20, right? And Marino put up big numbers, but no one was ever scared of him. It's like, all right, yeah, you're going to fucking win your 10 games a year and throw for fucking 4,000 yards or whatever it might have been, and whatever. But when it comes to playoffs, like, you got the fucking, like, you're more of a fucking your Fab-U-10 fucking endorsement than anything else.
Right. It's just isotoner gloves. Remember that?
All in all, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold. Whenever I play somewhere in the playoffs, I got to worry about isotoners. Well, maybe if you had a better team or if you're a better leader, you could play a home game now and then. Like there's so many of those guys.
Like, I was only 16 years old, right, when Marino was in the league, right, and so him and Elway and I can't even remember who other the other quarterbacks, Joe Montana, were kind of like the gods right now, right? Yeah. So. Excuse me.
It's funny. It's funny how it's every sport. How guys get better over the years, right? Like, you should see Marino. I don't fucking. He couldn't have been that good. He was really good, obviously, but.
Yeah, threw for a zillion yards, but he couldn't, and he rarely got sacked because the quick release, everything you talk about, like you read or see about Dan Marino, his quick release, and he did have a quick release, and he had a fucking gun, and he had a cannon, and he was accurate and he was good, but he never won a Super Bowl. He only went to one and lost. So, how good were you?
Jeff Garcia, Doug Flutie, same thing. Okay. CFL legends, Jeff Garcia and Doug Flutie.
Who's better, Dan Marino or Warren Moon?
Warren Moon.
You think?
Oh, it ain't close, man. Five consecutive Grey Cups? Warren Moon.
And still got to the NFL Hall of Fame.
I would put money on it because didn't Marino go to Pitt?
Yes.
I would put money on it that fucking Marino was too pretty and the tan wouldn't have been enough. He would never have told his fucking wares up in the Edmonton Eskimos in the CFL. Warren Moon is by far a better quarterback than Dan Marino.
And that was a racial thing back in the day, right? Like, so Warren Moon, Washington Husky, didn't get drafted, came to the CFL, won 5 Grey Cups,
3 MVPs, blah blah blah.
I think yeah, he was amazing. And then he went.
His big receiver, Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is wide receiver, number 80. Yep. Yeah. Why do I remember that? Well, my mom's an Eskimos fan, right?
No, that's a good one, and I was an Eskimo fan at the time as well.
I loved the CFL back then.
Yeah, same, because my mom and dad did.
Yeah.
And so you got to watch the games, and that is and Warren Moon did actually make the NFL Hall of Fame, I believe.
Pro Bowls, on it went. Oh yeah.
Oh, with that shit that Jack Pardee was running in Houston. That's the first NFL game I ever did see was in Houston in the Astrodome. Warren Moon versus Bernie Kosar. Warren Moon was such a better quarterback than Bernie Kosar.
If I put her all on the line, Dave, I'm putting Warren Moon in over fucking Dan Marino.
I might agree with you on that. I'm glad I said that out loud because, Warren Moon put respect.
Warren Moon knows how to win.
Warren Moon put respect.
It may have been a different league, but he knows how to win. Dan Marino, he hadn't done fuck all but isotoner gloves and CBS on more whatever.
Dan Marino did play in one more Super Bowl than Warren Moon, though.
Played in one more than me, too, so who cares? Whatever.
Yeah. Did you have that? I had the Edmonton Eskimo thing with the big holes in it. Do you know what shirt I'm talking about?
I had a Stampeders one.
Dave Ridgway or whatever the fuck his name was.
No, it was number 9.
Sandusky.
Sandusky was a BC Lion. I had number 9. I want to. What the fuck was his name? Not Roy DeWalt. It was Roy DeWalt. Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things were so stupid. They were so stupid. They were stupid.
But a grade 9. I remember
everybody had one.
I wore one to the first day of school.
The Argonauts had the number 7 Conrad Holloway. The Blue Bombers had the number 8 Dieter Brock. Remember those?
It had,
those are some names like Dieter Brock, Conrad's Holloway.
Yeah.
Oh, because Dieter Brock went down to the LA Rams.
Yeah, he played for the Rams for a couple of years. Yeah.
Fuck, legends. Swervin' Mervin Fernandez for the BC Lions. Unbelievable.
What a nickname. Yep.
He went to the Raiders. He went and played for the Raiders. Yeah.
Yep. And, the kickers had great names.
Robo kicker, fucking
Lou Pasaglia.
Yeah, Louis Pasaglia.
Roy Osbaldiston.
Oh, I love to see it. I miss the old CFL. I do. I miss it.
I wish I could like it.
Maybe this year, maybe this upcoming season, we'll figure something out. We'll set some up in the backyard here at Squamish Court, and we'll have a CFL watch party of some kind and try
every Thursday or something.
And we'll pick a team that we're actually going to follow and like actually grab a player and be our guy.
Because I think they go Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And then the odd fucking Monday and two. I don't fucking.
Well, just on long weekends, but nonetheless, there is some. Like you and I both have fond CFL
great memories. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but I haven't given it much thought in the last 15 years. So maybe you and I can resurrect this.
We'll resurrect the CFL single-handedly here at the 1420 podcast, courtesy of Righteous Felon Jerky. Go to righteousfelon.com and get the best in craft jerky and save yourself 15% by using promo code BELLYUP at righteousfelon.com. Dave, let's wrap things up tonight with another rousing rendition of Would You Rather, or whatever. Sometimes you surprise me. I don't know what's going to happen here sometimes, but what do you got for me tonight?
No, we're going to go party, visit, vacation tonight.
Party, visit, vacation. I like this.
Yeah, and it's all going to be names of names that we talked about. And I'm thinking of switching one of these out, but I don't know if I will. Party, visit, vacation. No, I'm going to keep it like this. Party, visit, vacation. The president of the Josh Donaldson fan club, Yammer Yager, and Jason Kelce.
Ooh. See, this gets tough, Dave. Here's the thing, Dave. I'm a baseball guy, right? So I would love to hear the stories of baseball guys that Donaldson played with or played against or whatever it might be. But I don't know how long I could listen to him. I just don't know. Okay,
how much you can stand of
how
him.
much I can stand, because no matter what, he would end up saying what his stats were all night long. So, and then Jason Kelce is retired now, so he's going to be on a twister. Like he's going to like it was a weekend vacation, like he had Super Bowl last year, or just this past or a month and a half ago. He's going to want to get down for days on end, got an unlimited bank account. And I learned the hard way on Saturday night in Montana there. I was up a little later than I probably should have been. And I'm still tired today. So, it's my own fault. Like, I'm not dying.
I totally understand. You get after it on a Saturday.
I'm still a little, I'm not hungover. I'm not
as fresh as you'd like to be.
I'm not 100% pure.
I understand.
So I am going to party, visit, vacation. I'm going to visit with Josh Donaldson because I can only probably handle him for about 4 hours.
Could you imagine him when he had 4 or 5 in him? Oh, fuck, he would not shut up.
He'd be me and you. Yeah. We wouldn't get a word edgewise.
And how are we supposed to have fun?
How are we supposed to get our point across if he's still talking all the time?
This is our thing. We talk, not you, asshole.
Yeah, we invited you so we can talk and you can listen. So I'm visiting Josh Donaldson. We'll have a nice brunch or an afternoon lunch with a couple of drinks. I am partying one night with Kelce because I couldn't do I couldn't do the 4 or 5 nights in a row that because now he's retired. He's going to be everywhere. I couldn't do that. And I'm vacation with Jagger because Yags is he's like a fine wine, man. He's going to get better all the time. It's just going to be like, yeah, we'll hang out, have a good time. We'll laugh and joke. And he'll do his thing. I'll do my thing. We'll relax. And then when it's time to get into her, we'll get into her. I think Jagger would be an interesting conversation and I think with Jagger, the more comfortable he got with you, the more stories he would let out on a 3 or 4 day houseboat trip. Then there was this one time, and he would joke and laugh about it. So I'm visiting Josh Donaldson, I'm partying with Kelce, and I'm vacationing with Jaromir Jagr.
I'm completely different for the first time ever.
Really?
Yes. My vacay is going to be with Kelce because he's married with kids, and that's the guy. I think we can bond over grilling and wherever we are and get our fish or sea bass and stuff like that. Let the wives have fun and shit like that. And
send them shopping or whatever.
Send them shopping. I want to visit
with his credit card.
Well, whoever, it's we're playing like here, so let the fantasy gods pay for the vacation. The visit is going to be with Yags because I think Yags is, like you said, the reason you want to vacate with him is what I want to visit with. Like, I just want to have an extended dinner and talk about shit, what it's like to have to play for the fucking hockey team you own in Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic, whatever we're talking about. Donaldson, I want to go with him and just watch him. I don't want to talk to him. I want to get him by like 4 or 5 in and just watch him tell everybody in the bar how fucking wicked he is and just laugh at him. Like, this is for my own perverse thing of watching him be a douchebag. Just like let a douchebag be a douchebag in a douchebag environment, and I'm just gonna sit here and watch, and I'll just, fuck, like I'm here with him. Like, it doesn't matter. Oh fuck, you should have seen this time. Like just to have this story. He's
the kind of guy who gives a different credit card every time the bill comes up and says, "Look what I got. I got this credit card."
Did you see the name on that? Like fuck it, cleared. I don't give a fuck. No, it says Josh Donaldson.
Amex Black or whatever.
I'm not gonna tap. I prefer to give you the signature so you can maybe sell it on eBay someday.
If you could sell that someday, and you could, yeah. And here's what the tip is. Please post it on Twitter.
So my party with Donaldson is for nefarious reasons. I'm gonna get some great stories out of him. Because you know what, that Blue Jay run that they did with the Bautista home run year and all that stuff, that was a fun team to watch. And like it was full of fucking D-bags, full of them. But to be able to watch a D-bag that loves himself so much be a D-bag in a public setting, I think that might be kind of fun to watch. So
great to watch, yeah.
Yeah, so for perverse and not, for personal reasons, but not because I want to be in the ear of Josh Donaldson. I just want to see Josh Donaldson show me what a top grade A1 D bag does. That's what I want.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you. I'm not changing mine. You're not changing yours. I think there were 2 great responses to that might become North America's favorite game show. Party visit vacation. What would you rather? Who would you rather go with? No, I laugh at that every time you bring that up. Yeah, because it's just funny. It's just Donaldson is
such a douchebag.
You know what? It's kind of a sad day in 1420 world. We've got a lot of run on Josh Donaldson, and now it's over. This is it.
He'll find a way to.
No, it's over. Like, he's not going to play again. That's it. He's just done.
Well,
hats off to the man, the myth, the legend, the president of the Josh Donaldson fan club, Josh Donaldson.
We bid you adieu.
Thank fuck. Anyways, Dave, fun show tonight. We didn't cause any problems, and we might have had some thought-provoking conversation, but I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. It's fun to talk about things, right? And we'll find topics next week. And now that we're in the dog days, NHL, we got to get some NHLers on here to talk about it, because fuck, there's no way. I try to watch basketball, everybody. Like, I don't know if we have listeners that are NBA guys.
I don't try.
Jesus fucking Christ. I cannot. And we're going to have to talk about March Madness now too.
You know what? I like that.
That's more fun because of the unpredictability.
Because you can sink your teeth into it this week.
Yeah.
Or next week, sorry. Like after this weekend with the conference tournament's over, you can sink your teeth into it, and it's in, out, done, see you later, and fucking pick a team. Yeah, good. And it's over. So
1 week today, we got to have our fucking brackets. We're going to give you our bracket fucking
They don't
things. We're going to tell you.
They don't want to hear our break.
Oh no, we're going to give you winners.
I'm going to lay it on the line.
We're going to
if we did a who is in and who is out of and who's going to win the NCAA bracket, it would be the lowest ratings in the history of the 1420 Sports Bar podcast.
Well,
no one gives a fuck what two fucking old white dudes from Canada think about the fucking what we're doing with our brackets.
Well, we're going to give our final fours. A week today, we're going to give our final four.
We'll figure it out anyways.
Because March Madness is entertaining.
No, I love it. It's great to watch. But after the first day, all the games were on and everything else. And I got 4 TVs set up down here and everything else. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourself. Easy around. Keep sticking the ice. And what else, Dave?
Don't swing at high pitches, Jim.
Jim, who do you got? Jim's a basketball guy. I want to hear who Jim's got.
In NBA or the March Madness?
NCAA, March Madness, who's winning the whole thing? I really want to hear.
I don't even have a fucking clue. I don't watch that much anymore.
Duke.
Duke, we forgot to talk about what we didn't forget, but if you don't care, that's court storming. That center got his leg tweaked. And, fuck. Strap on a set. Like, you're letting a fan take you out now? Win the fucking game. Here, this is how you stop court storming. Win.
Don't be a pussy.
Win. Quit, and don't be a pussy. Fuck. You know? I've listened to the last couple pods we put out. Jim is fucking killing it with the out music. Oh, just killing it with the out music. I wanted to have a song for him today because he's been fucking drilling it. I'm going to let him pick it tonight.
I may put this on the speakers at what Space Station see what's
well, why not? Like, I think we kept it pretty clean today too. To tell you the truth.
I swore first.
If you're in sports and don't hear a shit and fuck every now and then, you're not really playing sports. Or you're not keeping score, one of the two.
We're talking pissing in fucking hot tubs right off the bat, so whatever.
We played cards. It was my brother-in-law's birthday, and we were playing cards with the in-laws. And then it was like, I just said, fuck. Oh, David. Fuck. And then, you obviously, you know me. And then so everybody said fuck once because, you pick a card and like, Jesus, fuck. And then try to get my mother-in-law to say fuck. She won't. One of these days, I'll get her to say fuck.
We'll find a way. The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Have a great night, folks. We'll talk to you again on Thursday night.
Good night, everybody. Keep punching, Jimmy.
There you go, Jim.
Fucking music.
Jam it.